What's your name?
Hi, Randy.
Hi.
Great to see you again.
Thanks.
I'd just like to start out. Is there anything new that you might want to share, or has anything new come up?
No, I'm just really confused. I don't know what is happening with all of the charges and everything. You alright? Okay. Sorry.
So you have some concerns about the charges?
Yeah, well, I just don't understand what's happening. I was hoping you could straighten it out.
Okay. Well, they have you as a. I'm showing that they have you as a count. One of the counts that they've charged you with is they've charged you with stealing $150.25. Second charge was assault and battery of the officer, and the third was resisting arrest and apprehension by that officer. So, based on what you had told me, most likely, because you did shove the officer, they will likely, I mean, that the odds are, it looks like they will charge you with battery, or at least the facts point that you did commit battery, and if the officer was facing you, then it's assault as well. So, I guess I'd like to go over with you how you would like to approach this, because you know the officer was shoved, and you did say you pushed him. So,
Can't we just tell him I was scared? I was just upset.
Might be some mitigating circumstances that we can propose with the prosecutor, I can meet with the prosecutor and we can discuss, you know, the gravity of what was committed, and would you be interested in negotiating?
Well, I really just don't want to go back in jail. You know, that just scares me. But I don't know. Can you tell me what my choices are?
Well, your choices are you can plead guilty, and you can probably get a lighter sentence. You can plead not guilty. You have a choice of either going to a district court for a bench trial, or you can go you can demand a jury trial because it's a criminal case at the circuit court level. There's some things you'll want to consider, though. There's some pros and cons to selecting either one of those. Like if you were to be convicted at the district level, you can appeal it, and it would go to the circuit court. But because you were convicted at the district level, the prosecutor most likely would not be interested in making a plea deal, or they'd be very reluctant to make one. The other thing is, the pro of it is they would have to prove twice that you were guilty, like if you had selected the district court route. So, are you interested in pursuing any kind of plea deal, or?
I really just want whatever. I just want to make them understand that it was a big mistake. Whatever gets me the least amount of time, and if I can get away from this without paying anything, then I would be happy. But I mean, I don't even know they have all these charges against me. I don't know why there's so many. That was only one thing.
Mm-hmm. Now, what I understand is, like the officer, from their point of view, they were facing you. Could they see your hands when they were looking at you?
As far as I know.
As far as you know, they could see
I wasn't
your
really
hands.
paying attention to them. I assume they could see my hands.
Okay. Did you raise your arm at all at any time? Because I know you were holding a screwdriver.
Yeah, I was holding the screwdriver, and
Uh-huh.
then when he came running at me, I pushed him. I don't know. Does that count as raising my arms?
I mean, before you pushed him, did you raise your arms at any time?
No, I
No.
was startled.
Uh-huh.
I don't think that I did.
Okay. I guess I also saw that you have a residence in Washington, D.C., and I didn't know if there was anything else that, you know, if there's any concerns for you financially, because, you know, you could serve jail time, and you could
Yeah,
serve
well, I
longer
can't.
jail time if you didn't try to negotiate. So, I mean, the facts, there's some pros and cons to the facts. I mean, the officer may not have had visibility of the machine it's possible that nobody even looked at the machine. So, I mean, there is a possible case for it, but I just want to understand, what's your main priority? Do you want? Are you concerned financially of being able to pay your bills and?
Yeah, I really can't afford to lose my job. We're already fixing TVs on the side to make extra money. I really can't afford anything. But my main goal is to stay out of jail and not have to pay fines and stuff. But I mean, you know what's best.
The other thing.
All the options.
The other thing is district courts. If you were to go the district court route, they are lenient. They are more lenient toward first-time offenders. So if you wanted to go with a bench trial, if you were convicted, the sentencing might be lighter. But if you were to decide to appeal that and go to the circuit court level is not most likely to be as flexible, and they're known for seeking the maximum sentencing, especially when there's a battery or assault of a police officer. So, I mean, do you...
Will my senior prank affect that? Because I was arrested before.
No, that's another thing is, if you were convicted at the district level, the prosecution cannot introduce that fact that you were convicted to the circuit court. So
how do they know I'm a first-time offender?
Well, in this case, like your first-time offender for like battery or assault, they may look at the gravity of the crime, because I believe your prank was something where it was like negligence or.
We put our school flag up on the Washington Monument.
Okay. So and that was
They
gave you a
for
fine.
trespassing.
Did you serve any jail time for that, or I don't recall.
Remember. It was so long ago.
Oh, okay.
No,
And
I think I was just arrested.
And that fear that you have of police that may aid your case, or at least provide mitigating circumstances where they understand, you might not have been shoving them out of guilt. You were shoving them because you were just fearful of what was going to happen.
Police, right?
Right. Yeah. So, I mean, based on what I've laid out to you, do you have any particular path that you would like to go? Like, would you like a district court?
I don't know. I'm really not ready to make any decisions. I'd like to go home and talk to my family about it and stuff.
Okay.
What do you think is the best? What do you think that where do you think that I should go?
Based on the facts, I mean, what I've heard, I would say I would lean toward going to a bench district judge, just because they're going to be more lenient on sentencing. But there are some strict district court judges too, so it's not a guarantee that they would be lenient. So
Okay.
that would be my suggestion, but I would definitely take a couple of days to think
Okay.
about it, because this is very serious. And
Yeah, I'd like a couple days to think about it then.
and how does your family feel about going through a trial? Have you discussed that with them?
No, I've only just barely told my dad about it. I didn't want to tell him at first because I was still trying to, show him that I was being good after when I got arrested when I was a teenager.
Okay. The other thing I'd like to let you know is I have done a little bit of work on this case, where I've interviewed the police officers that were involved with the incident.
Oh, you did?
That kind of enters into, if we want to pursue. There are some cases where it seems like you might have a small chance of not being guilty. but I mean, based on the facts, it does not look very favorable, so you may want to highly consider a plea deal. The prosecutor rushed off after I interviewed those officers, so I'm not sure what their position is right now. So that's another thing that I hope to be able to get back to you on. I made a few phone calls, but they're in a huge trial and they haven't gotten back to me, so
Okay.
I hope to have
Take
an
care of all
update for you that.
that?
Of course. Yeah.
All right. Well, then I'd like a few days to decide or think about it if that's okay.
Yeah, that's completely fine, and I definitely would recommend that.
Okay.
Is there anything else that I should be aware of that may, build strength or weaken our case?
No, I don't think so.
All right. Well, thanks so much for coming in today, and I'll be. If you want to just let me know when you think you know what the best thing for you to do is, and we can discuss it again and
Okay.
then set up another appointment.
Okay.
Thanks so much for coming in today.
Yeah.